What's up? Welcome into your daily Buckeye Blitz for a Saturday, April 29th, 2023. Winding down the end of this month. Also winding down the end of this draft. Holy crap. What a bunch of mayhem. We're going to have a full breakdown Sunday night on our 8 p.m. YouTube live show. So check it out. Get in there. Hit us with your questions, comments. Me, Jeff, and Sean, we're going to break down every Buckeye that was picked. And if we have early word on who's signed to free agent contracts and things like that, we'll obviously update you on that too. But a lot of mayhem. Really was hoping Dwan would get into that first round, late first round. But anyway, we got three in the first round. Just adds to the total, right? First school to 90 first round draft picks. Seems pretty good, right? That seems like a good recruiting tool. So today, though, we're talking transfer portal. Now, this is a very fluid situation. Yes, that is what she said. So I'll update you as much as I can when I get info. But as of right now, this is what we know. This could change. All right. These portal rules could change too. I don't know. I heard I haven't been able to research this and find confirmation, but I heard that kids don't have to be committed by the 30th. So this current window opened on April 15th through April 30th for guys to jump in the portal. So, but from what I understand, what those guys that are in the portal don't have to commit to a school by the 30th. So they could like live in the portal for the next month or two. You know, if they have to finish up a semester or something at their current school, they could theoretically stay in the portal and then pick a school like after their winter semester or whatever, spring semester. And so the 30th is not a drop dead deadline, April 30th. It's just a deadline to get into the portal. And I think you got to go through your compliance office as a player. And I think you get like 48 hours for that compliance office to put you into the portal. So whatever. I don't know. I'm not a big transfer portal person, but probably showing my age a little bit there. Anyways, judging from the stats, though, I don't think anybody else is really big into the portal stuff. But that's what we're going to talk about today. In the portal, my guy PC always loves bad news first. So jumping in the portal from the Buckeyes, got second-year wide receiver Caleb Burton. Was obvious that some of these second-year receivers in that class were just going to get leapfrogged and jumped over and recruited over. So you got to expect that going in as a player, but it does suck when it happens. Also in the portal, offensive lineman Ben Chrisman. He was surprising to me because he was like a top 150 recruit and really kind of helped bring that class together. And seems a little early to jump ship, but anyways, it is what it is, right? That's my favorite saying. Also in the portal, kicker Jake Seibert. That's it. So those are the Buckeyes in the portal right now. I would imagine if we haven't heard of anybody jumping in yet, then they're probably not going to jump in. So what's most important, though, the Buckeyes are hosting 3 huge transfers out of the portal this weekend. So Taiwan Malone, the 6'4", 300-pounder, remember the D tackle? You might remember him from, was it 2021 class? Yeah. He's from New Jersey. Buckeyes were considered a front runner for him, but that changed in the summer of 2020 when he decided he wanted to play baseball and football both at his college of choice. So Buckeyes were like, we'll pass then. In his 2 years on the football field, he has 13 total tackles, 2 sacks, 2 knockdown passes. So maybe splitting time between baseball and football wasn't the best idea. Now he's leaning toward a football-only career, and that's where the Buckeyes come into play, right? So he's visiting this weekend. Larry Johnson really wants to add some depth along the D line. We talked about this in the past. Yeah, we've got a good starting 3 or 4, but at D tackle. But what if somebody goes down? What if 2 guys go down? We've seen, like last year with the corner room, injuries just crushed us. Running back room, same, crushed. So no guarantees though. Larry Johnson's not giving him any guarantees. Just don't forget, cornerback, Ole Miss transfer, Davison Igbinosun transferred from Ole Miss and also is from New Jersey. So could be a little bit of a connection there, I would think. I'm guessing they've talked, being in the same locker room for a year or so. So he does have 2 or 3 years of eligibility remaining at least. So maybe he comes in and sits for a year, gets his body in shape, whatever he has to do, work his way into the locker room and everything else. And then maybe next year he's a realistic starting, guy, because we could lose three or 4 D tackles after this year. So keep that in mind. San Diego State transfer offensive lineman Joshua Simmons is the other guy. It's a huge visit for Justin Fry. Simmons is 6'6", 305, 4-star, formerly in the 2021 class. Fry actually offered him when he was the OC at UCLA and recruited him back then, coached him at a camp. As soon as Simmons jumped in the portal, conversation started with Justin Fry. So that's a huge sign. He played all 13 games, started all 13 games last year at right tackle for San Diego State, played almost 800 snaps. His PFF grades aren't the best. If 60 is your average, just doing your job level, his pass protection was 65.3 and his run blocking was 47.7. Also committed 17 penalties, but we put up with the wand for 2 years. Anyway, he's also going to be visiting Florida and Colorado. So one thing to point out, though, is no current player on the roster, on Ohio State's roster, has a full season of experience starting at an offensive tackle position, left or right. So depth at least and compete for a starting job is probably what he has his sights set on. Our third visitor this weekend, we're hosting Lorenzo Styles Jr. From Pickerington Central. Well, obviously went to Notre Dame, but he was in the class of 2021 as well from Pickerington Central. He was originally recruited to play corner. At least Ohio State recruited him to play corner. Obviously, Notre Dame had other ideas. But anyways, he was the number 5 overall prospect in the state of Ohio. Heartline and had a really good relationship with him, but they just didn't have room in the receiver room for another guy. He did have, 2 years. He had 54 passes, 648 yards, and 2 touchdowns as a receiver at Notre Dame. 6'1", 192. So that's good size for a defensive back. He's got a little bit of length and some poundage. And he's also mentioned possibly playing safety. So right now he's interested in corner. We'll see safety down the road maybe. But again, he's a guy that I don't think we have. He's not going to crack a starting lineup right now, but he would add depth and then play into next year's, depth chart and 2 deep, because you're probably going to lose Denzel Burke this year. We'll see what kind of year Jordan Hancock has. If he blows up, he could take off. So we'll see what happens there with Lorenzo Styles Jr. Obviously, his dad is senior, big time Buckeye linebacker. One more bit of recruiting news while we're here. A Final 3 is coming for linebacker, California 4-star linebacker Kingston Viliamu Asa. He'll be announcing a top 3. He's only planning to take visits, 3 official visits, He'll be in Ohio State, at Ohio State, the week of June 23rd to the 25th. Decision will probably be made early in July. And right now, it's looking like Notre Dame, Ohio State, and USC, maybe Miami. Swap out one of those teams for Miami. But USC right now is probably the lean for him. He was the first player offered by Ohio State. And actually, it's funny that it was former linebackers coach Al Washington who offered him as an Ohio State linebackers coach. So, but Laurinaitis and Jim Knowles have done a great job keeping this relationship going, making the kid know that he is a priority to the Buckeyes. So let's see. I'm sure we'll be in that top three, but where do the chips fall after that, with a decision coming shortly after his Ohio State visit. So keep it locked in here. Don't forget, Sunday night, we're talking NFL draft, all the Buckeyes, where they went, why they went there. And Jeff's going to wear his dancing shoes because he's going to be jumping and filling us in with info. He's our NFL correspondent. So that's all I got for you today. Talk to you tomorrow. Go Bucks.